The OnePlus 11 is the company's first true flagship of 2023, and there's a lot to be excited about. So let's take a closer look. From its slick, refreshed design to its hyper-powerful processor and its fast charging skills, this phone does a lot to earn its flagship title. Mix in its long-lasting software, its 5G connectivity, and its more affordable price, and this phone suddenly becomes a real contender for your money. So let me dive in and tell you what I like about the OnePlus 11. 2023 has brought a fresh look for OnePlus, with the square unit of the OnePlus 10 Pro swapped out for this lovely circular one here, fringed with metal that curves gracefully to meet the edge of the phone. My review model's green colour manages to look both stylish and quite smart, while the curving glass on both the front and back makes it very satisfying to hold. I really like the look of this thing. I think it's actually one of the best looking phones you can get right now. It manages to feel fresh enough to feel different from its predecessors, yet still feel part of the same family. It has an IP64 rating for water protection, which is a step below the IP68 rating found on many of its rivals. Long story short, it's probably safe from some spilled drinks, but probably best not to take it swimming. At 6.7 inches, its display is big enough to do justice to those vibrant mobile games, while its 3216 by 1440 pixel resolution is nice and sharp. It's a Super AMOLED panel that supports both Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10+, meaning that it's bright and it's bold and it's vibrant, and it can actually properly display compatible HDR content. Its adaptive frame rate can shoot up to 120Hz to provide a smooth experience for high-intensity tasks like gaming, or it can drop all the way down to 1Hz for much more basic tasks like web browsing or just showing the always-on display. There's an in-screen fingerprint scanner which works well, and long-time OnePlus fans will be pleased to see the alert slider on the side of the phone, which lets you very quickly set it to silent or mute or vibrate. A slider that was notably absent from the OnePlus 10T. Powering the phone is a mighty Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor backed up by 16GB of RAM on my review model. It's a powerhouse of a chip that makes this phone among some of the most powerful we've ever tested. Rest assured then that this phone will handle anything that you can throw at it. It's particularly good with gaming, with demanding titles like Asphalt 9 Legends and Genshin Impact, both at maximum resolution, playing with very smooth frame rates. In everyday use, it feels incredibly swift just to swipe around the Android interface. It's free of any kind of lag or weird stuttering that might tell of poorly configured software. Basically, there is very little that you can do to slow this thing down. And that swift experience is helped by the phone's Oxygen OS 13 software. Based on Android 13, Oxygen OS is a clean and easy to use interface. I like the software straight out of the box, but you can customize it a little bit to your own tastes with different fonts and changing up the always-on display. But OnePlus has also extended its support, giving this phone 4 years of Android updates and an additional 5th year of security updates. That is the longest that OnePlus has ever supported a phone for, and it means that this phone will still be safe to use 5 years from now. And that's great, because it's so often the case that phone hardware is still perfectly usable, but if the software isn't supported with security updates, then it isn't safe to use. There are 3 main cameras on the back of the OnePlus 11. There's a 50MP main camera, a 48MP ultra-wide, and a 32MP portrait camera with a 2x optical zoom. It's a fairly predictable triple camera setup, but I'll be honest, that portrait camera with its 2x zoom does disappoint me. At 2x, that zoom is a step down from the 3.3x zoom we had on the OnePlus 10 Pro, and it's a huge step down from the 5x optical zoom you can get on the Pixel 7 Pro. Now, zoom skills might not seem like the most important feature of a phone, but for photographers among you wanting to take great shots in any environment, a good zoom can be an invaluable tool. I absolutely love using the zoom lens on the Pixel 7 Pro, and so not having a good zoom on this phone does somewhat feel like I'm missing out on photography opportunities. So I feel like the OnePlus 11 is making me make compromises that I don't have to make with other phones. OnePlus has again partnered with iconic camera maker Hasselblad, who has apparently calibrated the camera for better colours. However, I'm not really sure it's doing either company much good, because images can be quite hit and miss. While I have taken plenty of images with the OnePlus 11 that I really think look absolutely gorgeous, others don't impress quite so much. It can have a heavy hand with its HDR processing, lifting shadows and toning down skies to a sometimes unrealistic degree. Don't get me wrong, it is certainly a good camera. Its night mode photos in particular have really impressed. If photography isn't your main concern when you're buying a new phone, and what you really just want is some really nice, vibrant, punchy shots of your friends having fun on a holiday, then the OnePlus 11 will suit you well. But if you're looking for a more well-rounded photography experience, then I do suggest you look more towards the Pixel 7 Pro. It'll shoot video at up to 8K resolution, but 4K will be adequate for most, and it uses live HDR to keep your skies and shadows under control. Colours look good in video, and there is optical image stabilization. Works well for smoothing out those shaky hand movements, but I do sometimes find that vertical items such as trees or buildings can sometimes look a little bit wobbly as the lens fights to keep things stable. Powering all of this is a 5000 mAh battery, which should be more than enough to get you through a full day of use as long as you're fairly careful in what you do. Hammering it with demanding gaming and video streaming with all of the settings ramped up to the max will quickly take its toll on your battery life. However, you can reduce both the screen resolution and the refresh rate, both of which I found made a huge difference to getting more out of the battery. With more conservative settings, you shouldn't need to worry at all about your phone dropping dead halfway through the afternoon. But if you do find yourself running low on juice, it's very quick to put more power back in. The phone supports 100-watt fast charging here in the UK, which will take it from empty to full in only 25 minutes, or 27 minutes on the 80-watt version sold in the US. And that is a lot quicker than the 1 to 2 hours you can expect the Pixel 7 Pro to take to fully recharge. So is the OnePlus 11 actually a phone you should consider buying? Well, if you're looking for a high-performance phone to tackle gaming, to tackle video streaming, and all of your life's essentials, then it's definitely an excellent phone to consider. It's got enough power to tackle anything in the Google Play Store, it looks great, and that fast-charging battery means you never need to be running out of juice. And that 5 years of security support is a really nice bonus. And while that camera system is far from the best around, it's certainly good enough to take some great shots of your friends and family that you'll want to put on social media. The superb Google Pixel 7 Pro is its main rival, offering a better camera system and a pure Android 13 experience. But it's the price that really stands out, as the OnePlus 11 is one of the cheapest flagship phones you can buy. It undercuts both the Pixel 7 Pro and the new Samsung Galaxy S23. So if you're keen for the latest flagship phone and you value straight-line processor performance over camera skills, then the OnePlus 11 is certainly a great phone to consider. So what do you think of the OnePlus 11? Is it the phone for you, or have you got your sights set elsewhere? Do make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and you will find a lot more information in the video description.